Yes, what's up, wonderful people? Welcome to another wonderful episode of the number one trending and topical issues podcast. This is a Kenyan podcast. I do hope that your week has been wonderful and you are excited to be with us on the show, just as we are excited to have you tune in this particular weekend. And of course, we have a wonderful show lined up for you as we get to update you on what is happening in different circles. My name is Spikes alongside Kare. How is it going? Bonga na watu.
The going is good.
Yeah.
Kupambana tuna life.
Kupambana life. At the end of the day, people just look into life and, the thing that you have to be more stuck in on is actually staying positive and optimistic through everything. So today on the Kenyan Podcast Live, we endeavor to discuss what has been taking place throughout the week. And we also do have another co-host who wants to join us on the show. We might introduce him as we move along. But anyhow, remember you can always connect with us on our social media platforms. We are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, we are also on Facebook. You can let us know how it is actually going for you and yours, because each and every other weekend, we just want to kick it with you, and we just want to keep you updated on what is happening. Just getting to show you a different side of this coin that we call the 254, because trust me, there is a whole lot going on with our country. Even as we speak, matters entertainment, matters politics, matters business, matters youth, matters employment, and also other things in between. So, Carrie, how's the week been?
Been good.
Has
long?
Been,
Yeah.
More than 7 days?
Yeah.
You're saying long.
Hey.
Someone might wonder, is it more than 7 days or how?
Before it's Saturday.
Okay. Ndio.
Nimekaa hivi nikajiuliza, hii Saturday ifiki? Unlike the other week.
Kuna watu wanaanzia ku celebrate weekend on a Thursday, and kuna watu ambao wanajua, especially for people who maybe perhaps work for the government, others work for private companies that actually get them paid just right on before the first of the month. Those people actually do start their weekends very, very early. So for those who are actually joining us on the show for today, let us know how your week has been. Naweza tuambia pia where you are actually tuning in from, because we would absolutely love to know how you are and where you are tuning in from. Kari, wiki kumekuwa na mambo mob imekuwa happen. One of the things that has been a key highlight is the launch of the Bahati's Empire. Now, still kama uli notice, before the launch of the Bahati's Empire, there was a whole lot of cloud chasing happening. One of the things that was happening is that Bahati did post something on Instagram. And this was said to be a cryptic message that they're about to, divorce, or they're about to separate with Diana. The video was a photo of Bahati, and this photo of Bahati, it had the ex, Bahati's ex, and I think Bahati's baby mama. And the caption was, "I wish I knew." What did you think when you saw these particular photos, or these are moved by Bahati?
For a minute I was like,
unasikika kweli? You speaking like yeah.
And on Nasama,
ndio,
at first when I saw it I was like, surely. And then later
hukufikiria wataachana?
I know.
Yeah.
Wamego vitu mingi wamefanya. That was not one of the thing. But ile kitu ilini cross my mind was the fact that how could you say that after even having a kid, having kids with your current? Now you're saying that. It was like a slap to the face. But afterwards, kidogo
ukafikiria ni cloud.
In
cloud, because so many people do a whole lot of things. Unafikiria kumbe you think this in story serious, and then again ukifuatilia kidogo unakam realize hii ilikuwa imepangwa na hakuna kitu serious ambayo inaendelea kwa history.
Unajua the funny thing ni nini? The fact that at Diana later said I'll go to my YouTube at 7
p.m. make an announcement.
To talk my mind.
Hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Did people actually go at 7 p.m.? Watu waliflock pale kwa YouTube? I think people did flock, but anyhow, the guys, this.
Yeah, chakwambia time ilifika. I even did remember.
Maybe unajua kuna ule una setting. Just remind me, set reminder, and but anyhow, guys, this is again podcast, the number one trending and topical issues podcast in the 254. We do hope to connect with you on different social media platforms. Remember to find us kwenye Facebook, the Kenyan Podcast, and also to find us also on Twitter and Instagram as well. It would actually be wonderful if you are able to connect with us, and also let us know what your thoughts are about cloud chasing, and who do you think are some of the most cloud chasing personalities in the 254, because kuna wale watu ambao wameivia wako na PhD ya cloud chasing. Let us know who are some of the people that you think. On the side, maybe perhaps I would say maybe Eric Omondi. Sometimes Eric Omondi ni mtu ambaye anatafuta clout in so many ways. Apart from Eric Omondi, I would say Peter Salasya. Do you think Peter Salasya, the MP of Mumias?
By the way,
MP, the Mumias MP, I think might also be another. For you, who do you think is another clout chaser ambao umenotice? Entertainment industry. You are
me wenye naonanga tu cloud, like the name cloud chasing, be out to the couple. You're bad out to, but
how about Molamoa? They did that. There is a photo shoot that was done this week. Yeah.
I don't follow them, so I can't for sure tell you the cloud chase or nini, but I hear their stories. I hear kuna dem alitokea kisema ati he's stingy ama he's what?
He's stingy. Atoe mado.
Ati. And I'm like, wewe shughulika na maisha yako,
shughulika na maisha yako. That is exactly what you should do. And because
he's stingy, labda si stingy to the wife.
Actually, that is what happens. Let me tell you something for ladies, and I think I've also seen these actually being made in a meme. You might say someone is stingy, but they are actually stingy to you. Kuna watu wengine ambao utapata ako generous sana na wao, and you choose who to be stingy with, kwa sababu hii life but actually you should have limits, because for takers they never have limits. So if you're talking about people not being they being stingy, you should also know who to be very generous with, and maybe perhaps not.
Let me ask you a question.
Go on.
Do you when mtu wa ku confront mtu like ama you're just the quiet and move on?
Me, I'll be like kama sina even niko now I'll help you out, but kama sina I'll not. No, kama umezoea, we cannot be doing as inawezi kwa kila time, because me mwenyewe where am I getting it from? But also generosity has limits, Nipo, because people do say that if you are out there and you want to receive, you might also be a giver, because it works both ways.
Yeah.
But then again, even generosity, when you sometimes they might do you wrong. I was looking at Rick Ross the other day, and he was on a video saying that for him, he was actually saying that for him, he has stayed for a very, very long time before his family came up asking for anything. And asama his family is also well off, like the mom, or the mom has their businesses, the sister has their businesses, and that is why he was saying that he has stayed for so long. Kabbalah, any of his family has gotten to him asking him for this or asking him for that, and that is just a recourse. But yes, you should have limits. Ukiniuliza, you should have limits. Kama watu wanasema Mulamwa ni stingy, anaweza kuwa stingy to whomever and then be generous to someone else. So I don't think that would actually be the way also to look at that particular problem. But yes, the Bahatis have launched the Bahati's empire. And let me ask you something. Alikuwa anataka kukuwa MP. If you're a constituent in that particular area, Bahati alikuwa anavai for to be an MP, would you see yourself voting for Bahati early in the morning? Would you see yourself casting your vote for Bahati? Would you? Yeah, you should respect.
Could I wake up purposely for him
early in the morning just to make sure Bahati amekuwa MP? Would you see yourself?
No.
But then again, people right now have been talking, saying, hey, afadhali hivyo hatukujipata tumeenda asubuhi kuamkia asubuhi kwenda kuvotia Bahati, because some of the things that the entertainer does, there's a difference between, there are some entertainers who are good leaders, but some people would rather just stay as entertainers, just as they are, that is how it is. But then again, I would say they have proudly launched their show, which is known as the Bahati's Empire. It's a reality show, which I believe would be very maybe captivating for Kenyans to watch. But let me ask you something. There were some people who actually attended this particular event. One of the people that attended, actually, let me highlight 3 people that attended this particular event. We did have Rigathi Gachagua, who is the deputy president. We also did have Karen Nyamo, who is a senator. We also did have Prezo. I know you remember Prezo, the artist. You know Prezo, the artist. For me personally, I do feel that Gachagua would have maybe perhaps better things to do. This is my personal opinion. I shouldn't be asked. Should have maybe perhaps had better things to do. But now you see him also, very busy attending this particular event, and some people are questioning what was it that the vice president was doing at this particular launch of the reality show. And then there's also Karen Nyamo, who was there, and Karen Nyamo was actually talking and saying that for her, the husband is a creative. The husband is an artist. I don't know. So Samido. Unajua Samido? Samido is an artist.
I'm like
husband, yeah, Samido, you know Samido, of course, you do know Samido. So she was saying that Samido, the baby, the father of the kids. She actually said the father of my kids, So I won't say the husband, the father of the kids. Let me just correct it there. The father of my kids. She said the father of my kids is an artist, a fellow creative like you, and the father of my kids is actually paying the most expensive schools in this country for my children. And walikuwa anawaambia. And some people are also questioning, Karen Nyamo, why should you still keep, bringing up like you're better off than most of the other people? It's like you're rubbing it on, on their faces. But then again, it was her just saying, I am here, and the creative industry is actually going to another level. And the third person that I would like to highlight that was at this particular event, this was Prezo, CMB Prezo. And CMB Prezo was at the event, but he collapsed, he fainted. I personally do not have information about what led to him fainting. But there is a question that was raised about the issue of organizing for the ambulance or for the health, not for the health, for emergency cases, during an event like this. It's a big event. There's so many people coming up. Lakini mbona msikuwe at least an ambulance or a way that you have medics there, so that if anything turns up, there would be a way. So what is your opinion, Areda, for this whole launch? Maoni yako kuhusu empire, the launch of the empire.
First of all, congratulations to them. To Fikapo. May God miss her.
Seriously. Yeah.
And yeah, I think
what they are actually saying right now, and this is the latest I have seen. Bahatis, they are actually saying that they need the government, not the government, sorry, right? They need Netflix to allow the show to be streamed to different places apart from Africa. Right now the show is set to only stream in Africa, and wanataka ikuwe streamed outside Africa. Outside, outside watakuwa na complain, watakuwa nasema this show we cannot actually access it anywhere else. But that is according to Bahati. They are actually just requesting that at least maybe why not also make it a world premiere? This is an African premiere, but they are saying that for them they are international entertainers, and therefore they just want this particular show to also be aired outside. So this is a Kenyan podcast, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. Bahati is a new premiere. Let us know. Do you think it's a world-class show, or do you think maybe it should just be let to remain right here on the African continent? That is my question for you on today's show, and I really hope that you give us some feedback on that. We do have more stories. We do have a story about this Chebet. Is she Chebet?
Yeah,
the actress.
Yeah.
And that story is with Karen.
Okay. I think it's been a couple of days.
Yeah, some days. Some days.
She came out to say that she has been going through. Okay, first she said this life is a spiritual life, and unfortunately she tapped into a realm that she wasn't to go in.
Yeah.
But now the difference comes in. There's a lady that comes and said they didn't do that. They didn't go.
Yeah.
But unfortunately it happened. And, for the few times or few months, I'm not sure with the timeline.
Yeah.
But a few months she started feeling, you know,
Yeah.
some spiritual, you know, attack.
Yeah.
And even there's a point where she was even taken to hospital because they thought like she was going mad, but now I think now she's okay. She's, you know, in her, you know, spiritual.
She has stand up and she has said she is okay. Yeah, this is a popular actress, and she was just confirming that she's fine hours after making disturbing revelations online. And this actress did say that she arrived safely in Nakuru hours after she had left fans in the industry worried about sharing a series of disturbing Instagram posts where she appeared to hint at troubles with her spiritual life. Taken to Instagram on Wednesday, Tibet published a series of revelations detailing her indulgence in spiritual activities, which she revealed had started. And she was actually saying that she might have been involved with the opening of portals. And I would actually say that when it comes to spiritual affairs, I am not an expert on spiritual affairs, so do not actually quote me on this. But I would actually say that the spirit realm is just as real as the physical realm. Actually, some people might tell you that the spirit realm is actually even more real than the physical realm is. And therefore, when you hear people talking about, you know, making sacrifices, you know, opening up of, you know, doors that, you know, these portals that they talk about, I would actually say this thing is very real. But Carrie, let me ask you a question now, Carrie, and you might let me know how you feel. Have you heard of situations or stories where the deceased amekataa kurudi nyumbani? Have you heard where like there is a funeral, you know, taking place? Mtu amekufia Nairobi, sana sana watu wa Western. Na msini quote, msikuwe na vita na mimi watu wa Western. Sana sana watu wa Western. Someone dies in Nairobi, lakini time anarudishwa nyumbani kuzikwa, gari inaharibika and things start happening in the spiritual realm, na gari inakataa kusonga, or even the coffin that is carrying this particular person falls off. Have you heard about these particular cases, and what do you think of them?
Majority of times, I think sidhani ni in terms of how like mwili yenyewe. I think ni how wenyewe ku accept that to, you know, to live. Juu there are times, okay, see there are times, there are places where you need to, kama mtu amekufia hapa, nasikianga unafaa ukwe na bishop.
I don't know, but if you're not kama wewe si huko Christian, what happens?
Sasa wanakuja wanaiombea, then do spirit yake inakubali kwenda. It depends even how that person died. And okay, sijui kwa other cultures.
Have you watched this movie?
Majority of
majority of
culture specific. I will not go into details just like kwa takiwa.
Hakuna mtu anakuattack. Speak your mind. No.
When mtu amezikwa, I think it's like an year or two. Unafaa kwenda na sasa bless the, you know, the dead and let go aende. Because tunasikianga kuna watu kuja and then like they do something, the spirit comes to life nini. So a priest, mostly the priest, we call them priests, ndo anakuja naombe hiyo kaburi,
the spirit,
in order hata spirit ya mwenye alikufa na spirit sasa iko huku kwa earth isipatane.
I don't know how, I'm not really deep into that. Siwezi kuambia like what exactly happens in there. Carrie might, not sure. But for you guys who are actually watching, do you believe in the spiritual realm? And these things that Chebet was talking about, actress Chebet was talking about, do you think these things are real, or do you think she's making up stuff? For me, I would tell you that especially watu wa Westerns, sijaona watu wa Mombasa na watu wa Turkana na other places, northern or maybe central, wakikataa kwenda nyumbani. But let me share this particular video. I don't know if you guys remember, this was actually on some years back. This is it.
Kericho Highway. Young and old scramble to get a glimpse of what brought business to standstill in this small center in Kochogo, Ahero, Kisumu County.
The spirit stays there. It doesn't move. Juu haijui bali kwenda.
I'm not sure. I will not speak on something I'm really not sure about.
No, actually, I had it.
Now, pia wao walisikia somewhere, so I'm really not sure. So
let me just say how I had it.
But
to stand still in this small center in Kochogo, Ahero, Kisumu County.
Until you find the Grim Reaper,
by the roadside, bearing the remains of a man destined for rest in Butere, Kakamega County. But the send-off ended here when the unexpected happened.
You're not supposed to communicate with the dead. Unaona vile ati shosho yako alipass ati anakuja into your life ati life and death. No maana inaitwa life and death. See,
so let me not be an expert on that. But guys, this is a Kenyan podcast, and we are talking about a Tibet actress, and she has actually said that she is actually safe, and she was just giving her life, quote unquote, testimony. You know, she was saying that she was involved in opening up of a portal near Sama River. And I have had many things happening, you know, near rivers, near the sea, near oceans, near mountains. And they are different. What do you call it? Where do you put up altars? There are different altars. And I will not go into that. I would hope that sometime we would have an expert on the Kenyan podcast and come chop it up with us. Let us know maybe what your thoughts are on altars and people getting involved with the opening of portals and this spiritual world. You know, some people have crazy stories, but if you do have some of these particular stories that you would share with us,
you don't believe they exist.
They're the stories. I do know they exist, but I do not have a personal encounter or experience like that. So I would that is the only thing I would never do. Actually, so even online, I would know, then have knowledge or research and know. Then from there I can come tell you. Since you come kuambia fununu like kulienda, no, I just want to know this is how it is, this is what it is, and this is how it is working. But anyhow, guys, thank you for being with us on the Kenyan podcast. I do hope that everything is well with you and your family, and that the weekend is coming along just wonderful for you. If it is not, please make sure that you stay positive and optimistic. It's very, very important that you stay positive and optimistic, because at the end of the day, there's nothing to lose with positivity. There's nothing to lose. If you're being optimistic, there's absolutely nothing to lose. But we move a bit further from that particular story and come to the story of Jambi and Jambi Koikai. And I remember last week we were talking about her passing on from endometriosis. And she has, this week? Yeah, it was actually this week. It was actually this week. And finally, she has been laid to rest. And I would actually just say that Kenyans were really united. But the only problem is that Kenyans unite when things are really not actually going well. I would have hoped to see Kenyans also, helping when she was actually alive. But I will not go into blame or things like that. But then again, the family is pleading for financial help. This is a lady who was actually living her best. No, not really her best, but she actually lived life to the fullest. That is what I would actually say, because even when she was not well, she was still pushing and she was still hoping and she was still optimistic about different things. And she was actually a woman who was raised by her mom and also her grandmother. And right now she has actually been laid to rest. And one of the things that did stand out for me is that she was born and raised in Dagoretti. And in 2022, I understand, in 2022, she was also vying to become the but then again, politics in Kenya, politics is a different game. When you're talking about politics in Kenya, it's a whole different game. First and foremost, in Kenya, we all do know that money plays a very, very big role. Pesa ikimwagwa kule chini, people are actually bound, the elections are bound to bend towards a particular way, simply because the money has been poured. So for her, she lost these particular elections in 2022. But I would still say that she has actually inspired so many people. Another thing that actually did realize that she actually underwent surgery 21 times, which is actually very, very difficult. And I would actually say for her, even holding a smile, kukua tu mtu ako, positive and going on with life like that, Zambi was actually a warrior. And I've seen people now going on social media saying, oh, this, you didn't do this, you should have done that. And I also understand she was buried, or she was laid to rest at Langata cemetery. And, in other countries, let me just speak about other countries. And these are quote unquote developed countries. I'm talking about countries such as Russia. In Russia, they do get to appreciate people that have made contributions in different sectors. I would say perhaps she has made a big contribution in the entertainment industry. Someone like Mzee Kayai actually did make a big contribution in the entertainment industry. But then again, when push came to shove, and when things went the way they went, for her career of so many years in acting, there wasn't so much to show for her, for him. Huwezi sema amenunua hii shamba, amejenga kule, amefanya hivi, these other things, achieve this. And now, you get to a point now you're being buried, unazikwa sasa, and there's not even that land for you to also be buried at. That is what hurts me the most. Someone that has made a whole lot of tremendous contribution. You'd assume Mzee Kayai, having been on the TV for so many years, he was getting money, he had bought land, even by the time you get into kuzikwa, ushajipanga na mambo yako and kuna place utazikwa. But sadly, that is not the case, and I would love to see even the government, recognizing and making sure. In Russia, there's a cemetery, which is actually not just a normal cemetery. It's, of course, it's cemetery, but yeah, kuna kaburia lenses. That is what I was trying to look for. So for scholars, watu like mathematicians, watu wamecome up, wamefanya a big contribution. Scientists, even entertainers, poets, even poets are there. People who made tremendous contribution towards a given field. There's a place. Serikali has a kosa like place they can actually even do something like that. But I've also come to realize that in our country, yani mambo hayanangi venye nafaa kuenda. Even for scientists, for people that have made tremendous contribution to arts, tremendous contribution to science, tremendous contribution to other different areas, when mambo ikimalizika, there is no kunakosekananga like that appreciation on that particular kind of a way, which is actually very, very sad. But for those who are with us, who are joining us on the Kenyan podcast, we want to appreciate you. Please make sure you subscribe to us, to our channel on YouTube. It's the Kenyan podcast. Please make sure that you also finding us on Spotify. Let me show you how you just go to your Google. Let me just open this particular tab. Just go to Google. Click on the Kenyan podcast. The Kenyan podcast on your Google search. The Kenyan podcast. Just click on the Kenyan podcast, and you'll find results. The search results you just pop up. This is a Kenyan podcast. It has a Kenyan flag logo, kind of a logo, and you can be able to support and listen to the shows on there from Spotify. Recently, Google Podcast ilifungwa, but we do have Apple Podcast, and you can find us on so many other platforms. And at this particular point, also let me give a quick shout out to other fellow podcasters in Kenya. Like these are the guys, the Joyride, they are very popular. Out of the Booth podcast, they are very popular. In between, they are very, very popular. But we also, as a Kenyan podcast, we also want to ask for your support, and also make sure that you're working with us through this particular journey as we continue building up. As we continue building up, we want to ask for your support. Hatuulizi ati pesa mtume mfanye. Now we just want for your support. Keep on playing, keep on streaming, keep on sharing, and at the end of the day, we shall be able to grow. When you have the official website made, we shall let you know. When you have the official merchandise, we shall let you know. But for now, we just want to keep sharing good vibes with you and enjoying each other's company as we also build our country up. Information is power, and we want to keep on building our country up. As we wind up, you want to talk about the finance bill. Right now, there has been a whole lot of uproar against the government. First and foremost, there seems to be a confusion. Sometimes when you ask people about this and that, Karen Nyamo will tell you this about the finance bill. Mutahi Ngonyi will tell you this about the finance bill. And Mutahi Ngonyi was saying that this finance bill is actually taxing, or the taxation is actually going towards the rich. But I would actually oppose that particular notion, because Mutahi Ngonyi was saying, why are Kenyans very mad at this particular finance bill? This finance bill is actually just taxing the rich. But that is not my thinking. That is not my thinking about this particular finance bill, because at the end of the day, these will also trickle down. These particular effects over these finance, they will also trickle down. Also, family, I would love to know, what is your opinion about the public participation that has been going on? Because some people do feel that these public participation is just a way to tick a box. And Njogosh was among the people that was involved in these particular one of the recent public participations. And let me just share with us Mutahi Ngonyi, what Mutahi Ngonyi had to say. And then also let me share with us also what Njogosh had to say. So for Mutahi Ngonyi, he did actually say about the finance bill that, dear hustlers, what is your problem? Only 1.2 million Kenyans out of 52 million own cars. 40 million of you will never own a car, which is actually also watering down dreams. 40 million of you will never own a car. So how does he know that 40 million will never own a car? So question, why defend car owners if you have no car? Also, do hustlers drink bottled water or use tea bags? No, Ruto is taxing the rich. Is this wrong? First and foremost, for Mutahi Ngonyi, if you are actually tuning into this particular podcast as well, or if you care to listen, bottled water is not for the rich. Bottled water is actually not for the rich. You might be somewhere in the streets, and it's on a hot day in January, and you feel like you're very, very thirsty. So if you're telling me that I should not now buy a bottled water that at 30 shillings, that maybe I should buy it at maybe 60, like a small bottle, bottled water is not for the rich. Kuna hii shughuli fulani, I don't know if Kari you've noticed, ama when you're in the Ushago, perhaps Ushago, watu wa Nairobi wamekam. Me, I was brought up in the Ushago, and I will tell you, time watu wa Nairobi walikuwa wanakam kwa mazishi, or wamekam harusi, or wamekam something else. Watu wa Nairobi used to carry bottled water. So in my mind, I used to think, bottled water is very expensive and this is for the rich. But that is not the case. When you come to the city, you will find all sorts of Tom, Dick, and Harry, all people from all walks of lives using bottled water. And you guys, you can also let me know, is bottled water for the rich? If you think bottled water for the rich and you agree with Mutahi Ngonyi, please let me know. Kari, what is your opinion about bottled water? And is it for the rich? And also, when it comes to cars, taxing people with cars, what is your opinion about this particular finance bill and taxing people with cars, and also saying that bottled water is for the rich?
Kama bottled water ni for the rich.
Yeah.
Basi kwa nini tunaipata? Why is it easily available?
Now they want to add more tax on it, ndo isikwe available. That is what they want to do. That is what they want to do. It makes sense. For me, telling me that bottled water is for the rich, I do not agree with that particular one. Hiyo ni kiburi tu. Yeah, you should be able to access the bottled water, because that is actually a necessity. This is actually a very, very big necessity.
They say we are rich. Why is that? Tunaambiwangwa kila time. Reuse those bottles. Reuse. But you've been told to reuse. Is that richness?
For me, I think at the end of the day, Njogosh was actually right. I'm trying to find where Njogosh was also giving his speech about this particular matter. Let me find it. If I could find Njogosha response when it comes to public participation in these bill. Would I just find it? Let me see. Let me see. I wish I was able to find it. And you guys can also let me know. For Njogosh, what he was saying, Njogosh's opinion is that we do not have a problem with taxation. What we do have a problem with is the whole issue of collection and also how the money is spent. We are not using money prudently. There is an issue of how we use money as a Kenyan people. And also Okia Omutata was also out there saying that a whole lot of money is actually being stolen. he has a document. But then again, I don't know, we might, fellow Kenyans, keep on praying for Okia Omutata. For me, because I do not see him, I just hope that he finds, he is not actually attacked in any kind of a way. But that is just my saying. That is just my thinking. Let me share with us this particular video of Anzogush. We just hope that I could play and you could hear the audio. If you can hear the audio, let me know. Kama usikii audio, pia niambie tuone venye tunaweza fanya, because sometimes our audios do get to jam. And this is
guys in the government studio, they are experts.
If you guys can hear the audio, please do let me know. These was the public participation recently.
The government
his name is Timothy Njuguna. And
with all due respect,
we are being so this particular bill is key to finance the 4.2 trillion budget. Anyhow,
for an expert,
let's hear what the negotiator
because the guys in the government studio, they are experts par excellence, but the government have made them sound, for lack of a better word, with all due respect, dumb. That's why they are trying to find themselves, because there's something they know how it's supposed to be said, but they can't say it. And you don't have to be the sharpest tool in the room to know things are not right. And I want to go back to what Madam Wamushomba said. She's my MP, that the Mwananchi doesn't understand. Kenyans understand. They might not understand it in billions, but they know things are not right. So when we say we want to collect a certain amount of money, again, you don't have to be the sharpest tool in the room to know. If you move me out of production, for example, in content creation, there is someone who said people who don't pay are the ones who are being targeted. I pay, for a company, I pay the corporate tax, 30%. I do the VAT, 16%. I also do the 5% withholding that is done by the client.
This is Nzugush, and for him, he was actually saying that the problem is that even after this particular money is collected, the problem is that with the way it's actually used. What you do have in Kenya is budgeted corruption. If pesa itachukuliwa, taxes will actually be raised, and pesa itachukuliwa, money will be collected. But then again, when it comes to due diligence and also prudence in spending this particular money, a whole lot of loopholes are actually there. Nonetheless, that is just my personal opinion. Maybe Carrie would also maybe give us her opinion as we are winding up on today's show. What do you think about this whole issue of increased taxation in the Kenya? Do you think taxation itasaidia Kenya kumove mbele ama what is your opinion?
Obviously, out of all this, lazima wachukue do kutoka kwa hiyo story.
Of course, yeah.
Hata kama tusemeaje regardless. Hiyo ni vile I feel like just system imezoea the same thing each and every time. Hata president akitoka, mwingine akiingia. Unless mmoja ingia aseme okay. Let's see how will, because naonanga hakuna kitu yote haina solution. Everything has a solution. It's just that because as hata bila alisema juu wanadhani hatujui, unaona,
like we don't know, like we are fools, really.
Yeah. We are fools. We don't understand what is happening. But in real sense, there are people who do. But
there are people who have all this info, and sometimes they take us for fools, yeah. And so, guys, let us know what you feel. You can also write to us on our email, kenyanpodcast@gmail.com, kenyanpodcast@gmail.com. And like I said, if you haven't subscribed to official YouTube channel, please make sure you do. It's the Kenyan Podcast. And also manze tupate pale kwenye Spotify. We also on TikTok, but I don't think we post much on our TikTok, but we endeavor to do so. And tukimalizia, I just want to put you on good vibes. The one and only Kitusiwa has a new album out. Inaitwa The Makali Man. And manze, hii album ina jam. If you're into hip hop, na unapenda real hip hop, Makali Man is that particular one for you. I've been listening to it this weekend. Actually, asubuhi nilikuwa naisikiza kidogo before I came around. And zile songs ziko pale ni moto. The outro also on there is wonderful. And manze, Kenyans and generally human beings, manze, tuko na ile tabia ya ku big up mse after shakufa. Like we wait for people to die and say, oh, he was a very, very good rapper. Manze alikuwa na bass kali. Alikuwa ame-inspire watu wengi kwa hip hop, ame bring, all these things. I don't know, Carry, for you, why do you think people wait until someone is dead for them to give props or to give to recognize their talent? Mbona unaonanga like kuna kwa nayo tabia?
Okay. so far naonanga ni cloud chasing. Ni I think ni ile point ya ninakujua. So jumeenda wacha nikuwe the bigger person. No. The person who has much information. So I'll come here, I'll be like, hivi. But the others who they're given their their flowers with their life. Si kila mtu. No matter inasemekananga chagu your friends.
Me, I would just tell you guys, for family, the Kenyan podcast, our family here, manze, give people their flowers when they are still alive. Kama Njambi, when she was there, maybe no one really was telling her how wonderful she is and how what inspiration she has been to their lives. But for me, we do have Makali Man. This is Kitusiwa. Kitusiwa alikuwa uko fulani Mau, and this guy has been doing the most. He has a new album out. You can actually head over to YouTube, tafuta kwa channel ya Wakardinali wamemwekea hii album yote. I think they are working with Wakardinali right now. And this is Makali Man, and listen to the project, manze. Listen to the project, and the project is actually super dope. I have listened to some of the tunes on there. Actually nitaendelea kusikiza, but manze, I would actually just like to give Kitusiwa his flowers when he's still alive. Sometimes we go and give people their flowers and it's too late. I remember there was a member of Ukoflani. Was it Jiwiji? Yeah, that was actually Jiwiji. When Jiwiji died, people used to say, oh, he was dope and things like that. But when he was alive, why not share his music when he's alive? Why not give him props when he's alive? Why not give him music reviews when he's alive? Because this is what we need to do. So head over to our Cardinals channel on YouTube. Listen to Makali Man and thank me later. Let me know how you feel about that particular one next week when we come up and when we join. For those who are watching us, I thank you so much. Nawashukuru sana, nina wa rank kabisa. What can I say? I just want to appreciate you so much. We also do have maybe closing remarks, Zakari. Closing remarks. Yeah.
From me to you guys, nawapenda sana. Continue, subscribing and watching us. We support us.
Sometimes we somehow we do forget stories. We must have story on Matrax, but I think we will do it. We'll do it on a subsequent episode. Make sure you join us maybe within the week. We shall be doing the show. Manze, kama unaweza like join on the show, tuchapiane, just email us or DM us on Twitter. Just email us kenyanpodcast@gmail.com, or you can also DM us, and we really love to just connect with you and just vibe and just show a different side of this coin called the 254, because our goal is to also unify our people, our Kenyan people, and also inspire, entertain, and also inform. Till next time, much peace and love. Let me see if I can play one of the jams by Makali Man from this particular album. And as we wind up, till next time, much peace and love. I want to wish you a happy and a productive rest of the week. This is Makali Man by Kitusiwa. I hope that you get to jam, you get to vibe to this particular one.
Soilisi zimehit kwa mtaa yenu, kaa Yesu au GSU watageta atakaa wako pechu eriwa hangnangos na ndechu asha sambuka zimasigaa, kwani unataka kutunguza kaa yule vaiti aliban kwa duka. Oh sorry vaite sando nimekumbuka,